One Piece Bounty Rush has over 300 playable characters. Many of the older units have obviously fallen behind in the current meta. In this series, we're taking units that deserve a comeback and bringing them back to life. So let's get started. Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. So today we are having the first episode of Let's Buff a Unit. So in this episode, I choose to buff King V1, and most of you will say, why King V1? Well, first, there is some guy in the meta which called Booma or Bonnie or Connie or whatever you want to call him, okay? This guy, like, not you, but it's either like this or this. They both have 50% damage increase versus runners, and especially this because it can teleport to any, like the closest treasure and hit with 630 ignore damage reduction with the 30% damage increase on his trait and the additional 50% against runners. He basically like one shot every runner in the game. So like Fujitora, Jinbei, Vegapunk, uh, like anyone basically. So we need a runner that can either dodge, like have a flame on his back, just like a shark or king, or someone with a shield like Niji or someone like that. So I choose also king for another reason, which is Saturn, because Saturn's skill, this one that guarantees KO you, this one, can teleport to flags, and if he hits you and your like max HP is cutted, you're guaranteed KO'd, okay? Since King also have the flames, this skill will just go to waste basically, and he will be safe from getting guaranteed KO'd. So for those reasons, I'm gonna choose King to try to buff him. It's just my take basically. So for the first thing, I'm gonna reduce this skill cooldown to 27 seconds on 26 seconds, something like that. Because just like Ashark, I'm gonna give it also 15% each hit, so it's gonna deal 60% total instead of 40 total. Because they did the same thing to Ashark, as you guys remember. It went from 10 to 15, and they reduced the cooldown to 28. We can give like King 28. It's fine. And also the second thing about this skill too, we're gonna reduce the cooldown to 36 seconds because 42 is just too much in the current meta. And as you guys can see, he have a 50% damage increase versus attackers, which suits him very well versus the new Kuma and Bonnie. And we're gonna, of course, give him a 70% damage reduction and a trait right here that says, for a set period of time after using skill 2, resist target being dealt knockback and nullify stats infliction and remove stats infliction applied to you. Also in this trait, when you're capturing the treasure, dodge without taking damage for the accompanying effects 3 times, and nullify stats effect inflicted by an enemy and remove stats effect inflicted by enemy, because it's just frustrating that you get like recovery blocked and you're capping a flag. You take it and you don't get the 20% HP from this trait. It's just dumb in my opinion. So yeah, we're gonna give him the 70% damage reduction when he's flying, reduce the cooldown. I'm not gonna touch the attacker, like increased damage is already really good. But what I'm gonna do, if possible, they can make this like a 400 skill or 500 and make it ignore damage reduction, or make it like ignore defense, something like that. 800 is really good to be honest, but if they made it like ignore damage reduction, it can start one-shotting those Kumas and those Bonnies. So it's gonna be really good. But they need to lower the number, so 480, something like that, 500, even 380, something like that, with ignore damage reduction is already really good with the 50% attack increase. Damage increase versus attackers. It's gonna be really good. Also, when your allies are not near the area where you are, boost the capture speed by 50% and resist stagger and down. So he can be only knockback now, okay? We need this to be applied. I was like talking with my friend and he said he needs a 50% defense increase from his skill 2 rather than just 20, just 30 to start tanking those ignore damage reduction skills that are basically everywhere. Also, what I'm gonna do, when attacked by an enemy whose parameter is boosted, you remove their state. So someone like Red Shanks, someone like anyone like who have a parameter boost and have state, you will just remove that, and you will also reduce the damage received by 30%, and I will add recover HP by 5%. So at least he can tank Kizaru a little bit. And we're gonna give him another trait which says when your HP is above 70%, you're gonna ignore the enemy and capture and reduce the damage received by 30%. So he will have a 60% total damage reduction with a 5% heal and a 50% defense stack, which is really good. When he captures the treasure, he can recover the skill 2 by 30 and recover the HP by 20. That's good. I'm not gonna change that. Like, I'm not gonna touch that at all. Other than that, that's all he needs, by the way, to become a really good unit, in my opinion. Doesn't get stats inflicted on skill 2. Skill 1 does 60% damage increase. He can ignore the enemy when past 70% HP. Like, he cannot be staggered on down on the treasure area when you're alone. If your ally are with you, you can be downed. So other than that, I don't think he needs anything more. So when he's above 70%, he can ignore the enemy and capture and reduce damage by 30% or 50 if they want to like make him really good and really counter like Kizaru. So yeah, I don't know if they will make him just like S-Shark, because S-Shark, they give him the trait, this trait. I'm gonna show you just in a second. Yeah, when your allies are not near the treasure area, boost the capture speed by 50% and resist stagger, being down, and knockback. You can actually also give him knockback resistance and he will be fine. You see? It's basically almost the same. When you capture treasure, reduce the... Yo! This trait is also insane on S-Shock. Yeah. Also the... When you are above 50% HP, he should nullify immobilizing stats effect. Okay? They can just create a trait right here. It says when you're above 50% HP or 70. 70 is kind of low. 50% is good. Yeah, 50% is good. So when you're like above 50%, you can ignore the enemies and capture. You can reduce damage received by 30% and also nullify immobilizing stats effect. While the other skill, this one, or when you touch the treasure, you're gonna nullify and remove the other, like, you know, incinerated or something like recovery block, something like, I don't know, some other non-immobilizing stats effects. So yeah, so let's do recap. 15% on each step, 60% total, 26 cooldown, 36 cooldown with 70% damage reduction, and ignore damage reduction or ignore defense and lower the power of the skill. We are nullify a flame, that's, I don't care about that. When he captures a treasure, he can nullify stats affected by enemy and remove it. Also, you're gonna add when he's using skill 2, the flying skill, he doesn't get stats inflicted and he also remove the stats infliction. applied to him, okay? When your ally is not near the area around your enemy's treasure, boost capture speed by 50%. I can't fucking talk. And resist stagger, being down, and knockback. Just like a shark, when you're using skill 2, boost defense by 30%. I think 30% is fine, but if they gave him like a 50%, that would be like amazing. So when attacked by enemy whose parameter is boosted, which is everyone in the fucking meta, you remove their state and you reduce damage by 30% and recover HP by 5%. And also when you're above 50% HP, as we said, you nullify immobilizing stats effect, you ignore enemy and capture, and you reduce damage received by 30%. When you capture the treasure, reduced cooldown, that's fine. So you reduce this by 30% and you recover HP by 5. And with this, you will start recovering 25, so it's good. Other than that, guys, I don't know. For me, like that, he will be absolutely destroying every Saturn in the freaking existence. So let's say you jump into flag, you are above 50%, you can ignore enemy and capture. You start capturing, the flames are on. Okay? Let's say they remove the flame, they like, I don't know, start like damaging you. You just dodge them and hold the flag again, the flames are on again. So, I don't know. Just leave him alone, okay? Don't go with him in the treasures. He can like resist stagger and stuff. And he will be absolutely cooking. He will be back in the meta and destroying everyone. Absolutely everyone. And also, guys, if you guys don't know, King birthday is tomorrow. So if they drop actually a buff for him, I will be really freaking happy, man. So I think that's it for the video today, guys. Make sure to let me know in the comments what should I like buff next, or who deserves to be back in the meta the most, and I'm gonna try to make a video about it too. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.